Hi guys, welcome back to Yenika's Lupus Life. I hope you're having an awesome and blessed day today. In today's video, I'll be talking a bit about my lupus journey, how I was diagnosed with lupus. So I remembered it was in spring of 2012. I was in school and I was doing two jobs. And I was feeling so tired, I was drained. I'm always tired and I don't have a big appetite and I'm anemic. So I said, okay, maybe it's just my iron is like really low. So I didn't really think much of it. I didn't go to see my doctor, but it was just there like every day. I go to work, I have no energy, I just push myself and I still wasn't eating properly. But after I remembered I had a physical and then I also did some blood work. And 2 weeks after, the doctor kept on calling. They were calling me an entire day and I didn't answer my phone because I was in class, and then right after class I went to work and they called me the following day. Then I answered and she said, hi Yenika, your result is back, your blood test result is back. And I said, okay. And she said, before I get into that, how do you feel when you wake up in the mornings? And I said, why? And she said, just humor me. And I'm like, okay, I'm feeling a bit tired. Like I'm feeling really drained from the other day. But I'm thinking because I'm doing school and work and I'm not eating properly, maybe my iron is low. And she said, you know, in a female, your iron is supposed to be between 31 and 300. She said, yours is depleted. You're at 16. And I'm like, whoa, that's it. I didn't get scared or whatever. I just said, okay. So she said, I'm going to prescribe you some ferrous gluconate. She did, went, picked them up, and I went my merry way. And in the summer, like early summer, I think it was in June, yeah. I started having some rashes on my skin, mostly on my behind my right ear. I didn't think much of it. I'm like, okay, maybe something that I had that did agree with me, some food that I eat. So I didn't think much. So it went on for weeks, and I went to my doctor then because I'm like, okay, I think I need to go see my doctor because I don't know what these rashes are. And he prescribed me some ointment, but the ointments, it didn't work. And I think a week after that, I went back and I told him that, maybe you should give me something that works from the inside because the rashes, they're not stopping. And he gave me some red pills. I can't remember what the pills are called, but I know there were some red small pills. So while I was on those pills, the rashes, they did subside. But as soon as the pills were finished, there they were. But I didn't go back then because I had to go back home to my grandma's funeral. So while I was there, they were coming out, but not as crazy as something that I would really worry about. Um, and I guess, or maybe I wasn't really paying attention because of all, the stress from the funeral and stuff like that. So went to Jamaica, did the funeral, came back. But when I came back, again they started coming. Now they went behind my left ear, and then they went into my chest area. And one of my coworkers at the time said, Yenika, I think you need to go see someone. These rashes are getting really bad. Like if you see behind your ears, they're like sores. And I'm like, okay, yeah, I guess I have to go see my doctor. I waited a week and then they started to itch. And I said, okay, it's time to go see my doctor again. So when I went back, I said, I think you should give me something that, no, I think you should send me to a. So I went back to my doctor and I told him that now they're itching and they're coming nonstop. And the pills, as soon as I finish taking the pills, there they are. So maybe he should send me to a specialist. He kind of dragged his feet and he didn't do much about it. And so that went on, and then in the December I went home. Back in the It was Christmas Eve, I went home. I think it was the 2 days after I went home, my mom asked me if I have fungus, and I said, why? She said, because of all these things on your skin. I said, yeah, I don't know. I went to my doctor, he gave me some pills, but as soon as the pills are finished, there they are. She said, you need to go back to that doctor when you go back home and tell him to figure it out, because they don't look good on your skin. So I came back in January. I didn't go see my doctor right away. I think it was like a week after, because I went back straight to work the day after I came up. And I told him again. So when I went to see him, I said, I think you need to send me to a specialist, because the rashes, they're not stopping now. They're itching. It's like I'm losing my mind. It's like my body is on fire, and I'm still feeling tired. I'm drained. And he dragged his feet. But I remember I went to a walk-in clinic because I wasn't feeling well. I was so tired. That time I didn't know that it's fatigue. And the doctor, they checked my iron level again, and he said, and when I went back for the result, he said, okay, it went up to 24, because remember it was 16. And he said, I'm gonna take you off first gluconate, and I'm gonna give you Palifer. It will bring up your iron quicker. And I said, okay. So I'm still thinking that it's just my iron, but now I'm not really eating, and maybe things that I was eating was also triggering the rashes. Like at the time I didn't know. And some time went by, I didn't hear anything from my doctor. And then I went back, I made an appointment, and I said, doctor, you need to send me to a specialist. Like my skin is on fire. They're just coming out, and they're like raw sores on my body, raw sores, but they didn't affect my face at the time, just behind my ears, my neck. And I waited, and I remember it was the following, so now it's spring again. And I called the doctor's office one day, and I said, I'm just calling to see if I was referred to a specialist. And I told him my name and everything. And the lady said, oh yeah, the doctor did refer to a specialist. You'll be hearing from them soon. And funny enough, the same day, I got a call from the specialist. And so I set up an appointment, and I went to see him a week after. And when I went, he scraped there's a spot in my chest, so he scraped that, and he said the result will be back in maybe a week or two. And 2 weeks after, he called me in, and he said the result is inconclusive. So he said, okay, then I have to do a biopsy. So he did a biopsy in my chest again, and then again the next 2 weeks he called me in for the result. Went in. He came in and he said, Miss Ellison, I have your result. You have lupus of the skin. I became numb and dumb for like 5 minutes. Like he was talking to me, but it didn't reach me until like after 5 minutes. I said, did you say I have lupus of the skin? And he said, yes. I had no idea what lupus was. I've never heard it before. I've never heard of it before. So immediately I went into panic mode. So he was talking, and I knew he was talking, but I couldn't hear what he was saying. Like my mind went somewhere different, like not in the office. Because in my head I'm like, okay, my life is done, it's over, I don't know what this is. And when I came to, he said, okay, we can talk about it, we can discuss treatment and so that. And I'm like, okay. And then he gave me some papers. And when I left the office and I went into my car, on my way to my car, I called my friend, and at the time she was in Jamaica on vacation. And I said, oh my God, I have lupus of the skin. And she's like, what is that? And I'm like, I have no idea. She said, okay, we're gonna do our research. And when she hung up, I started crying. And I'm like, oh my God, my life is done. Oh my goodness, what am I gonna do? And then when I went home, I called my mom, and she's like, oh God, you have lupus? I said yes. Oh, one of your cousins in your family had it and she passed away. Oh my God. I said, you know what? I'm gonna call you back because I can't take this stress right now. And I'm telling you, I feel like I went into depression right after I heard the result. Like instantly, I went into depression. For days, I would just go to work, I come home, shower, go straight into my room in the dark. I would eat something like when everybody else like I would eat something when my sister and her kids gone to bed. I just wasn't in my right mind, and I didn't even know what it was at the time, because I didn't really research. Um, and then after a few days, I started research, and when you're researching something, it seems like it's all the negative things coming at you at once. Like you're not seeing anything, how you can treat it, nothing. It's just all the negative things about the disease, and that was hard. That was hard, and I was so depressed. I was so depressed for weeks. I was so depressed until one day my nephew, he was really young at the time, and he said, Auntie Karen, like that's my pet name. You don't talk to us anymore. You just come, you go shower, and you go straight to your room. You don't talk to us anymore. You don't sit with us. And it was in that moment, like it hit me like, you gotta get out of this mindset. You can't, you gotta talk about it. But I still didn't know what to talk about it. I still didn't know how to talk about it. Because talk about what? I didn't know what it was. All I knew was that my life, as I knew it, was over. you know. And I played the victim for a long time, the pity party. And at the time, I was doing my accounting program, and I couldn't manage. I just couldn't focus, and I took some time off school, and I, I was dealing with a lot. So no, I have the anemia, I have the lupus. I'm always tired. I'm drained. I'm a depressed. I was so depressed, and I didn't know what to do with myself. I didn't know how to handle this news, and hearing that one of my cousin passed away from it, it made me depressed more. And anyways, after I went back to school, finished my program, and then immediately after that program, I went into nutrition. Because why I went into nutrition is because I was on the pills and the needles. So because I had so many sores on my body, now it's in my face, my scalp, my chest. Oh, it was so many spots. It's like now I was like I looked like a Dalmatian dog, and I would get up to 24 needles per visit. Like the raw cuts, like they just stick you in those raw cuts. And the needles, they gave me depression. When I would get the needles, I would be a zombie for like a few days. I just couldn't manage. And I said, I need to see if I can use nutrition to manage this disease. Because number one, I hate taking pills. Number two, being on those needles, feeling like that. And at the time, after, when it got worse, I was living on my own. So living by myself, being depressed, that's not a good combination. So I remember I called my mom and I told her that okay, now I'm in school doing nutrition. I think it was like 6 months into my program, and I told her I'm gonna come off the pills and the needles, and I'm gonna use nutrition to manage the disease. But Jamaican parents, no, you can't do that. Listen to the doctor. You're gonna hurt yourself. And I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna take this chance, and I'm gonna come off the pills and the needles. And I was scared, to be honest, because I didn't know much about nutrition. I just know because I used to work in long-term care, just the basics. I didn't know if it would work, but I just know I'm someone that I don't like taking pills. And the needles I just couldn't bear because then I can't function when I'm depressed, right? So I did that. As I said, I was scared, but I made that decision that day, and I have never looked back. It's now almost 9 years since I am only using nutrition and lifestyle changes to help me manage this disease. I'm not gonna say I have all good days because I'll be lying. I have bad days, but I have more good days than I thought I would, to be honest, just managing it my way. I had to learn what foods would trigger me because I would just eat random stuff. Because I have a weird appetite, but I loved shrimps. I loved shrimps. And I would eat up to 2 pack of shrimps by myself. That's just how much I love it. But one day I had it and I had some rashes on my skin. But I didn't think much of it. I didn't panic, so okay, had the shrimp, rashes came on my skin, fine. But after I had some more shrimps, and then I think few days after I felt inside my lip, my bottom inner lip, it started to like sting a little bit. And I remember I went to work and I could hardly eat. Like it got worse during the day. And when I got home, I had more. I had shrimps left over in the fridge, and I had some rice with it. But it was so hard to eat. It was so hard to eat. And oh my God, in the night, I woke up with this pain inside my mouth. And when I went into the washroom and I looked inside my lip, it was all sores. Oh, even now I'm telling you, I have goosebumps. Like the pain that I felt. And I remembered I called telehealth. And she was asking me all these questions. She said, "You have any sensitivities, this?" And I said, "I'm not sure, but I know I have lupus." And she said, "Oh, you're having a flare up. There's nothing we can really do for you. Do you have any popsicle or any ice that you can use to help you numb it?" And I said, "No, I don't have anything." And she's okay. In the morning, go to the pharmacy and get some Selectin B. It will help you to numb the pain so you can eat. I went to work the following morning with my sore mouth. I had no sense then because I would go to work sick. Doesn't matter if I could walk, I'm going to work. And when I was there, I remember this older coworker of mine. He saw that I was struggling, and then he came over and he asked me what's wrong, and I said I can't really eat. Like my mouth is so sore. I didn't go into much details, and then he said, "Okay, I'm gonna get you something," and he mixed yogurt with apple juice together, and he said, "Drink this," and that's all I had for the day. After work, I went to get my Zelactin B. I was so excited because okay, I can go home, I can use, then I can eat. Went home, showered, and I remember that after brushing my teeth, I put it on. Oh my God! What they failed to tell me was that this thing would burn. I felt like it burned more than the sores in my mouth. And I just stood over the sink with my lip hanging down in so much pain. And that thing only gave me, after all that pain, it gave me like only 10 minutes of relief, to be honest. I struggled, I suffered those days. I think it was like a week with the sores inside my lip. Woo! Fun times, fun times. So then I had to start researching, what food's gonna trigger me and stuff like that. And It was so hard for me to give up shrimps, but I had to. I did mess with it. I think it was 2 years ago. Yeah, 2 years ago. It was on my husband's birthday, and I paid the price. Oh my goodness. For weeks, my skin, and whenever I am having like flares, like whenever my skin is just breaking out, then it affects my mental health. It's so hard. I can't focus. I'm just I'm just not here mentally. I'm not here. I can't focus at work. When I come home, I'm angry, I'm moody, and I said no, no more. And every time I see shrimps and I want to eat it, I remembered. Not the first time when it happened, the last time, the 2 years ago when I went through that horrible ordeal. But my symptoms, I'm always fatigued, always. It doesn't matter how much I am off from work, how many days off I have, I'm so fatigued. Sometimes my focus is not 100%. Sometimes I am also a little bit moody. It's hard. Like lupus is hard. Right now I'm having like joints pain. They're like affecting my two middle fingers on my left hand, in my legs. Like when I go up and down the stairs, I have so much pain. Lupus is hard, man. It's been 11 years now, 11, almost 12 years, and it's still a struggle. You have to make sure that every day you try to do the right thing. And sometimes for a second you may forget that you have lupus and you will do something stupid and then you have to pay for it. And for me, one of the things that I miss doing is just going out in the sun and just sit in that sun until I feel drunk. I love the sun, and now I can't. I mean, sometimes I do punish myself and go in the sun. It's something that I love, and sometimes it does break me out. Right now, my skin is okay, but my scalp right now is just breaking out. It's itching, so my hair is a little bit messy because I can't do anything to my hair right now because I'm gonna irritate my scalp more. But with lupus, sometimes people don't understand, and sometimes for me, it's more frustrating talking about it or answering questions when they still don't know what you're asking people. And I don't blame them. It's just that once you say you have lupus, and it's either they stare at you with a like with a blank stare, or oh, I've never heard of it before, and then the questions start coming and coming and coming, and sometimes the questions, there's so many to answer. It can be frustrating, to be honest. But I learned to not take it like that. They just want to know what it is, and it's good to talk about it, because the more you talk about it, the more you can teach people about it, and the more, I guess, they will understand of how to help you or approach you. But it's not easy, and sometimes they don't think that we are not well because most of our symptoms are not visible. So they may feel like you're just being lazy or whatever they want to think, but they don't understand that for me, it affects my mental health a lot. A lot. Like in 2019, I was severely depressed. I had to walk away from my job. I couldn't manage. Then in 2021, I want to say, 2021, half of 2021, I was depressed from um, the second week of August until December. I was so depressed. I would cry for no reason. I just didn't want to do anything. I mean, I go to work, but was I functioning properly? I don't know. Sorry, because that's just what lupus does to you. So now I am handling it sorry, much better. I learn to tell when a flare is coming. I try for the most part not to eat what I know gonna trigger me. And I don't stress myself much anymore. Before I used to stress so much, but I have to learn that I learned that whatever I can control, I just have to let it go. And sometimes people may say that, oh, you're not worried about certain situation. I am, for the most part, but I can't worry too much about it because I know when I stress, lupus loves that. So just little things that I would do before or would affect me before, I try my best not to let it affect me or to think about it too much. If I can't do something, I'm not going to force myself. If I can't go somewhere with someone, I'm not going to push myself to go and then I pay the price. If you don't understand that, then I'm sorry. I got to put my health first because, when I am going through my flare up and I'm feeling all these, whether it's pain, depression, or anything related to lupus, I'm the only one in that situation. And so before I was a people pleaser. I will do things even if I know that I can't really go up to it. I will still say yes, okay. Or even at work, I would take the extra shifts just to help someone out while I am suffering. I can't anymore because last year we moved last summer and I didn't get much rest, from the moving, going back to work. I mean, starting 2 new jobs, and I was just working. I think I was working like 15 days straight. And I remembered one day I was after work. I went to do groceries with my husband, and I almost crashed my car. Like I was so tired, and I still pushed myself. And 2 weeks after that, was I woke up in the morning not feeling so great. I'm like, okay, maybe it's just my iron a little bit low because I haven't been eating properly. I haven't been sleeping. I don't sleep well. That's one of my issues too with lupus. I don't sleep. I think I get maybe the most hours I get is 3 hours per night. It doesn't matter if I drink chamomile tea, if I go to bed early, I cannot sleep. I just can't. My doctor prescribed me sleeping pills and I'm like, nope, I'm not taking them. So I haven't been doing anything. I haven't been taking the pills. I don't know. But back to last September, yeah, I woke up in the morning and I remembered I came downstairs to put some laundry in and went up and just I went to the washroom and then I felt weird. I said, okay, I'm gonna lay down for a little bit. And I think I took 2 steps, and when I came to, it was dark. I was in pain, but I thought I was dreaming. Then I heard my husband over me. I fell on my chin. I got, if you can see it, I got 7 stitches there. My jawbones didn't really work for 2 weeks. I could hardly eat. My eardrums were just maddening with pain. And then after that, I had muscle spasm and inflammation in my neck on my right side. It was horrible. And when I came to, and my husband took me to the emerge, the doctor said I was severely tired, and I went to work every day after that, in the mask, so they didn't see what was going on down here, but I was in so much pain. And that's just, that's a part of me not taking care of myself. I've been doing better still with the work and stuff like that, but lupus, it's hard. It's really hard. When you have lupus, you know, when you say you're fatigued, oh, I'm fatigued too. No, not like us. Not like us, because your fatigue and my fatigue is so different. Because if you get a good night's sleep or you relax a little bit, you feel refreshed. But for me, if I sleep, relax, rest, I still have that feeling. It doesn't go away. And that's the thing I struggle with the most, fatigue. I break out a lot in my scalp. I don't know why. It's always my scalp that's feeling it. My face gets it a little bit, but for the most part now is my scalp and my back. But the spots, they're pretty much gone in my chest area. I had to, in the beginning of the pandemic, I learned to make my own body butter, and it really helped my skin. So I don't really buy lotion anymore. I guess the chemicals in it didn't agree with my skin at all. So I've been using body butter, which is really helping me. But sometimes I'm lazy to make. But for the most part, I'm doing better. And once we know how to manage it, and once we know how, when to listen to our bodies, you know, not to push ourselves, we can, you know, live a good life. With lupus, again, there are going to be some tough days. For me, it's almost 11 years, so I can tell you a lot, you know, but I've learned a lot along the way. I've done a lot of research on how to help myself, and help others who are newly diagnosed with no idea of what this disease is. But lupus is no joke, man. So if you have lupus, or you know someone who have lupus, and when they tell you, or if you tell someone that you can't do certain things and you're not feeling right, or whatever the case may be, and they look at you weird, or they want to question you, don't stress about it, because only you know what you're feeling. You know, you may not be feeling the physical symptoms, but what about the mental anguish that you are going through, right? I That's what I struggle with a lot too, just the mental part of it. Depression, anxiety, panic attack, all of those. And I have to just learn to just let go and unwind, and let whatever happen. I can't control everything. So I know I've been babbling a little for a while, but that's my little video for today. Um, yeah, I think I'm gonna end it here. I don't want to bore. It's a lot of information I just let go in this. So okay, guys. So that's it for today. I want to say, you know, I want you to be blessed and stay blessed, and just take care of yourself and be compassionate to yourself. You know, love on yourself some more. God knows that we need it. And I'll see you in my next video. Okay, bye bye.